Now here's an interview that didn't make it into this book about interviews, and it may be because it's about the scariest interview I've ever had. Rescue me, oh take me in your arms, rescue me. I want your tender charms, 'cause I'm lonely and I'm blue. I need you and your love to come on and rescue me. Well, in 1988, when this took place, I was back in England. I'd only been back 2 months, and I'd found a job, a little job, well, relatively little. It was running a photography department at now Oxford Brookes University, and then it was called Oxford Polytechnic. And it was okay, senior lectureship. It didn't pay anything like the sort of money I got in America, but the money I got in America was gross, and the reason for that was that I didn't pay any tax because I had an accountant to tax deduct everything, and the accountant had been found to me by an artist friend of mine in New York, and it was a famous accountant for many artists, including Andy Warhol used this guy, and he was based on West 47th Street, a very fancy place, and he looked after my taxes all the time I was in America, and as I said, tax deducted everything. Well, and so you know, it's very good for me, really. Car, apartment, everything you can think of, travel, photography, my work and everything. And anyways, so when I got back to England, one day there was a letter waiting for me when I got back to London, and it was from the IRS. You've heard of the IRS, the Internal Revenue Service of the United States. And these guys don't mess around. These are the guys who put away Al Capone, not for murder, for not doing his taxes, and forever. And they wanted to see me because they said that my accountant, Gorovitz, had gone bust, and they discovered many irregularities. And so they were interviewing a selection of his clients, and I was up for an audit. And could I get on the next plane, or as soon as possible, back to New York? They needed me there from Tuesday to Friday next week, and if I didn't come, they'd be looking for an extradition order, and that could go against me. So, shaking with fear, I got a flight out to New York, and I was interviewed from Tuesday to Friday, as I said, and it was in Lower Manhattan. There's this huge room, is a bigger, like an aircraft hangar, and with desks as far as the eye could see in every direction, and there were IRS officials sitting on one side of the desk, and a sort of trembling client, as I call them, on the other side, going through their taxes with a fine-tooth comb. Well, I was assigned somebody called Aretha, which reminds me of this record, although this was actually, everybody thinks Aretha Franklin sang Rescue Me, but it was Fontana Bass. But it reminds me of this because I felt as though I needed rescuing, and there's nobody there to rescue me. And this woman, she was quite young. She was, 27, something like that. And Aretha, and she had dark hair. She is very attractive. And she'd graduated from Columbia recently. You could see she was going to go far because she was absolutely charming. She went through absolutely everything. She called me by my first name, but she was absolutely ruthless in detail, and she, let me off for lunch and then come back in 1 till 2, or when it was 12 to 1, and he'd come back and we'd carry on going through everything, turning everything up, asking me everything, making notes on everything I said, and this went on. And I could tell you I didn't sleep very much at night in my hotel in New York, and it went on. And anyway, on Friday at about 4 o'clock, she suddenly leant across the table and she said, okay, we can carry on with this. How much do you think you should pay? We've been talking all sorts of figures, so I came up with a figure, and she said, no, I think we're looking at least double that, Vaughan, double. And I said, well, I don't know if I can pay that. She says, well, you better do something about it, because we can stop you going back to London. You just take your passport away and that's it. You know, and then we could take out legal proceedings and you could be locked up while we're doing that. I said, jeez. So I increased my figure, and she said, yeah. And she decreased hers. And we went on like this. And eventually I said, you know what, Aretha? Why don't we do this? Why don't we split the difference? She said, done, Vaughan, done. Just sign here. By this time it's about 6 o'clock. And I don't know what came over. I looked across at her and I thought, you're very attractive. I thought, and very fair. And I said, well, what are you doing after this? She said, well, I don't know, I'm going home. I said, do you fancy a drink? Go to a bar or something for a drink, quick drink? She said, okay, let me just get fixed up in the bathroom. So I said, oh, fine. So anyway, we went for a drink, and then we went for dinner, and then, well, I didn't split the difference. I paid the whole bills, and it was worth it. Rescue me, you'll take me in your arms, rescue me. I want your tender charms, 'cause I'm lonely and I'm blue. I need you and your love to come on and rescue me. Rescue me. Rescue me. It's a wonderful departure from America.